Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get-together live here on Facebook, where we examine headlines and news from our city, our country, our state. We take a look at your comments, ideas, and suggestions to hopefully connect all this information and have a better, more connected life here in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, which is our city, our home. Today, it's Monday, August 22nd, and it is a pleasure to get together with you. And if this is the first time that you're joining us, my name is Paco, and we would love to find out if you are new. You can let us know by writing the word new in your comment, and we'll be so very happy to give you a nice little welcome. And if there's something really important that you wish to share, something that we don't want to miss, please add a capital letter Q at the very beginning of your comment, and we'll be looking for those during our comment section in the second half of the broadcast. Today, we have all kinds of interesting news. We have news about COVID vaccines. We have news about poverty levels in our state. We have Nechi I. We have news about a music performance coming to Puerto Vallarta that we may not want to miss, even if it's not our cup of tea, but I will tell you why once we get to the news. And as long as we're talking about news, we might as well get started. Can you guys hear that buzzing going on outside? If you cannot hear it, it's just the same, but next door neighbors are doing some improvement in their home and there's a lot of construction noise. So there you have it. But here we are. Health authorities have announced that the second pediatric COVID vaccine for minors from ages 5 to 11 will be available this week here in Puerto Vallarta, starting tomorrow and until Thursday. The vaccine will be available for minors who took the first vaccine in the previous campaign for the age group. They will be available at La Lija. This is one of those big coordinated campaigns at La Lija, and minors must be accompanied by a parent or a tutor along with and bring along their paperwork from the first vaccine. This is good news for young ones looking to get their vaccine. A Nayarit governor who was hurrying to get to a meeting, when was it, on Friday, and even took a motorcycle to get there, Nayarit Governor Miguel Ángel Navarro Quintero once again made controversial statements about the unfinished Federación Bridge that connects Puerto Vallarta with the municipality of Bahía de Banderas. As we know, the project has been in limbo for many years without any announcement from the federal government of funds available to complete or even begin the project. But this past Friday, while addressing a group at the municipality of Bahía de Banderas, Navarro Quintero assured that the Federal Secretary of Communications and Transportation has approved the project, which is interesting when you consider that the federal government has yet to confirm this information, and even Mexico President Andrés Manuel López Obrador, who was in the Bay not even a month ago, did not confirm this notion. So who do we believe? I have no idea. Last week, we reported the fact that Pitillal has announced the forthcoming beauty pageant to crown the Queen of Independence Day celebration, and we discussed this as part of the traditional festivities that usually take place around Mexican Independence Month. What we didn't know is that even though this tradition has been in place for many, many years, this morning we learned that as of February of last year, Mexico's Chamber of Deputies has determined that these events are considered to be symbolically violent for stereotyping women and judging them for their physique, and that nobody should endorse these pageants. However, the municipality of Puerto Vallarta is moving forward with its pageants, despite the fact that they were forbidden in February of 2021. The only way in which these pageants can take place is by being sponsored in their totality by private resources and not using government funds. So, is the Miss Pitillal pageant funded by the government or private funds? Who knows? We don't know. And for that matter, I wonder what is your take on these pageants? Would you go because it has been a tradition for many years here in Mexico? Or would you not go because of the way these pageants stereotypify women? I hope that is a real word, stereotypify. Anyhow, moving right along, let's talk about poverty levels. Jalisco Governor Enrique Alfaro shared some good news over the weekend through a graph that shows how poverty is decreasing in most states of Mexico. And the good news is that the second state in the country with highest decrease in poverty is the state of Jalisco. And it's good to see that Nayarit is in the first place. They are both all the way up here, as you can see in this graph. I am blocking some of the states in which poverty is not only not decreasing, but is actually increasing, as you can see on this graph. Mexico City, Aguascalientes, Querétaro, Hidalgo, Quintana Roo, and Guanajuato are states in which poverty is actually increasing. Let me come back to my usual spot to move on with the news. It's been 4 years since Mexico President Andrés Manuel López Obrador came into office. And as he turns the page for his final 2 years, he vowed once again to never stop blaming past governments for the tragedy and destruction they provoked in our country. My adversaries, he said, say I've been blaming past governments for 4 years, but I will never stop blaming them for what they did. It was a tragedy for them to strive to destroy our country. There you have it. And here's a bit of news that I have not shared before. There has been a group of 10 miners trapped in a mine in Sabinas, Coahuila. This is in northern Mexico. They've been trapped for 19 days now. And we had not mentioned this tragedy before because it was happening elsewhere in the country. But given the fact that specialists have not been able to rescue them, is making national and international headlines, I might as well bring you up to speed. The latest is that since family members have been pressuring the government to try to find a way to rescue them, specialists from the United States and Germany were hired to confirm that the strategy followed by local professionals is sound, and apparently it is. However, the miners are still trapped due to the fact that water levels in the well that has access to their location is too high due to recent rains. There is unfortunately no information as to how many of the 10 miners trapped are still alive or what is their condition while they remain trapped in the mine. This is so very sad. Hopefully, as the days go by, they will be able to be rescued. And now let's take a quick dip into the weather forecast just to see what we can expect at the beginning of the week. Why should we even bother watching House of the Dragon when no one has a better story than Bran the Broken, says our snarky carrot weather this morning. For the record, these references have to do with the very popular television show Game of Thrones, which I've never watched. And in case you didn't know, there are two big television prequel series out recently or about to come out recently. I understand that House of the Dragon has just premiered, and this is a prequel to Game of Thrones, and then there's another prequel, one to The Lord of the Rings, which is coming up in just a few days, I understand it. So there you have it. But anyhow, this is about the weather, not about Bran the Broken. Our current temperature is 27 degrees Celsius. Humidity is at 83%, and our temperature in Fahrenheit degrees is 80 degrees. Our weather forecast for today says possible light rain in the evening and overnight with a high of 32 and a low of 24. Tomorrow, Tuesday, we'll have rain in the evening and overnight with a high of 31 and a low of 24. And then Wednesday, possible light rain and humidity throughout the day with a high of 30 and a low of 24. There you have it. And now I want to talk about music, because there is a live performance coming into town that we may be interested in learning more about, perhaps even attending, and I am going to tell you why. Cuates y Cohetes, the popular bar located right next to the Los Muertos Pier, has announced a performance of the Tomer Cohen Trio, headed by New York-based guitarist Tomer Cohen. The trio is performing music from their new album titled Not the Same River, featuring original compositions. The guitarist has participated in a number of festivals in the New York City area, garnering a strong reputation. He studied jazz in the Israeli Conservatory of Music in Tel Aviv and was subsequently granted a scholarship from the New School of Jazz and Contemporary Music in New York. Why do I think this is worth going, even if jazz is not your thing? Because we are going to be enjoying a concert, a performance of original music for a change. This is not a tribute to Mariah Carey or to Sting or to Aretha Franklin or Celine Dion. This is original music performed by talented musicians. So, am I throwing shade? Maybe a little bit. But here is something that I would definitely consider attending. I did a little bit of homework to find out more about the musician, and what I'm going to do is leave you with a YouTube video of one studio session that he recorded recently. And again, as much as I appreciate that there is all this entertainment available in town, primarily for the tourists that visit our city, it is nice to see that a local venue chooses to invest in not only an outside band, but a band that, for a change, is performing original music. And this brings us to your comments, and I'm going to start with the very most recent comment because I have something to say about that. Lars says, thank you for recommending watching The 43 on Netflix, the documentary of what happened to the 43 students from Ayotzinapa. I have a confession to make, Lars. I recommended it and I had not watched it. So Saturday, right after the broadcast, that was my go-to show. While I was cleaning the house, I was cleaning the living room, and I was watching the documentary, and I was quite blown away by what I saw. It is such an important documentary to watch. And when you hear President López Obrador making statements about how corrupt past administrations were, and I'm not going to say every single official was corrupt. But when you hear our presidents talk about it and you watch a documentary like that, then one begins to have a better appreciation of what is the driving force behind President Lopez Obrador and his mission as president of Mexico. I'm glad that at least one of you chose to watch the documentary. I was blown away. But rewinding the comment tape, I see that there's a lot of good mornings. As always, it is a pleasure to read you, whether you're here, there, or everywhere. Bill and Mrs. Bill are back in town. I'm so glad that you guys made it back safe and sound. And David, I had a chance to visit with briefly yesterday at Hotel Mercurio during Beers, Boys, and Burgers. What a pleasure to connect with you, even if it was just for a few minutes, David. And I hope you return to Puerto Vallarta, to Boston after a successful trip in Puerto Vallarta is safe and sound. Let's see what else. Ooh, Sally is watching from the shores of Connecticut. That sounds lovely. Monday already, says Mijal, and I say, yep, it's another week, and here we go. Purum pum pim pam pum. Many, many more good mornings. There's a queue here. Gina asks, La Vena, Versalles, Las Gaviotas, where is the best public beach? I'm going to answer that, Gina, because we've walked those beaches, and just about any one of those beaches is a good beach to go. Those beaches don't cater like Los Muertos Beach. In other words, you will not find that there are restaurants available to serve you on the beach. There are a couple of individuals that will rent you a chair to hang out, but it's a different experience. However, the beaches by themselves, it's just a matter of walking and getting to know them better. I wonder if anybody else has something more useful to share. And the one thing that I will say, Gina, if you want to be taken care of while you go to the beach in the vicinity, if you go to a place like El Oasis del Holy, at the Holy Beach, right on the edge of the hotel zone, that's a great place where you can enjoy food prepared and brought to your table. You can be on the beach, you can have beverages, and so forth and so on. So if I was to choose, I would probably go to El Oasis del Holy. Let's see. Boom, pum, pim, pam, 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 pam. Aha, I am flying through there this afternoon. Hope you didn't have flooding where you are, says David Dumphy. Here's a question. Has anyone driven to San Sebastian recently wondering about the condition of the road? That is such a legitimate question, Dave, considering the fact that it is during the rain season that the road gets a little crazy because of all the potholes that arise as the rain happens, or due to the fact that there are frequent slides, landslides that tend to block the road from time to time. The sad news, at least from where I sit, is I don't have a report, but my suggestion to you is to telephone your favorite business in San Sebastian, if you have one, or just telephone any restaurant in San Sebastian, because they are in the business, many of them are in the business of coming into town on a regular basis to purchase supplies, and just ask them directly unless somebody else offers a report here during the broadcast. Good luck with that and keep us posted. Let's see what else. Billy says, Hola Paco from Lisa and Billy. Hello. Glee says, prayers for the miners. Absolutely. Again, we had not reported this, but it is such a tragedy. Gina says, I'm in, and I saw this comment come in right as we were talking about the jazz performance. Hey, maybe we can go together and check it out. Let's see what else we have. Maria Elena Guerrero says, looking forward to hiking with you on Saturday. Can't wait to meet you on Saturday's hike. The feeling is mutual, Maria Elena. It'll be a lot of fun to do this hike, but just as a reminder, remember that this is not a Coffee and Headlines event. This is an event that was organized by somebody else. And in case you don't know what we're talking about, there is a hike organized this coming Saturday by a company called By the Corazon Vallarta Tours, and I've asked for your permission to offer you a pre-recorded broadcast on Saturday so that I can attend this hike and tell you all about it the following week. So if you guys want to go, it is a free hike. All you have to do apparently is tip the tour guide, which I strongly suggest we all do. And I'm going to go with a few buddies of mine. So if you want to go, just make sure that they're aware of it by responding to the Facebook invitation so that they're not overwhelmed with numbers in case a bunch of people show up. Logan says, hello, Logie. I took a day trip up there less than 2 weeks ago, and the road was just fine as we haven't had much rain this season, not a lot of landslides or potholes. So there you have it. There is a report. Brian also has a report. We went a couple of weeks ago to San Sebastian, and the road was in great shape. I love it how you cluster make it all wonderful and provide us with useful information to share. This is amazing. Love it. And this, of course, brings us to the end of today's broadcast. I'm wondering what everybody is going to be up to this week. Yours truly is deep cleaning dishes. Yes, I decided that it was time to take care of my ceramic dishes, and this morning I soaked them in hot water, and I added some vinegar, and then I added some bicarbonate, and I forgot that the whole combination gets a little fizzy, and I made a big mess in the kitchen that I need to go wipe off. So I'm cleaning my dishes, and I'm involved in a couple of crafty projects and doing some filming for you guys. So it should be a fun week. What's it going to be like for you? You're in control. So if you're going to be doing anything wonderful this week, please make sure to let us know. A cluster member sent me some great photographs of a restaurant that just opened in Fluvia that I'm going to go check out at some point during the week. So it'll be a lot of fun to bring all this information back so that we can be better connected with one another. So go have a great Monday. Go have a great beginning of the week, and let's get together again soon. Have a good one.